By noon, your brain had already quit. You did not notice when it happened. Maybe it was after choosing between 20 types of coffee at the store. Maybe it was while scrolling through streaming options for 30 minutes without picking anything. Maybe it was standing in front of your closet for the third morning this week, unable to decide what to wear, even though you have done this thousands of times before. You felt something was wrong. Simple choices started feeling impossible. You snapped at people you care about. You bought things you did not need. You said yes when you meant no, but you blamed yourself. You thought you were being lazy or losing your edge. You did not realize you were experiencing something that researchers now say costs the global economy over $400 billion every year. You were suffering from decision fatigue. In ancient China, during the late Tang Dynasty, there lived a magistrate named Wei who governed a wealthy district in Jiangnan. His reputation spread through the province. Officials from neighboring districts came to study his methods. Citizens praised his fairness and wisdom. He handled more cases than any other magistrate in the region, and his judgments were considered flawless. For 5 years, Wei was the model of excellence. Then, something strange began to happen. A merchant brought a simple contract dispute. Wei stared at the documents for an hour and still could not decide. A farmer needed approval to divert water to his fields. Wei postponed the decision 3 times. Citizens who once received answers in minutes now waited days. The magistrate, who had been famous for his clarity, was drowning in confusion. His assistants whispered that he was ill. Some said he had offended a spirit. Others believed he had lost the favor of heaven. But Wei knew the truth was more troubling. He was not sick. His mind had simply stopped working the way it used to. Every morning he woke exhausted from making decisions in his dreams. Every evening he lay awake replaying the choices he had made that day, wondering if they were wrong. One night, Wei made a decision that surprised everyone who knew him. He resigned from his position without explanation. He told no one where he was going. He walked into the mountains carrying nothing but a simple travel pack. People said he had gone mad. In truth, he had gone to find answers. After 3 days of walking, Wei found a small temple hidden in a bamboo grove. An old Daoist named Lao Feng lived there alone. Wei had heard that this hermit possessed uncommon wisdom, but few people ever found him. Wei bowed and said, "I have come seeking guidance. I was once a capable magistrate. Now I cannot decide anything without exhausting myself. What has happened to me?" Lao Feng looked at him carefully. "Tell me, how many decisions did you make yesterday?" Wei thought about it. "Perhaps 50 or 60 important cases." "No," said Lao Feng. "How many decisions?" "All of them. The moment you opened your eyes." Wei started to recount his day. What time to wake, what clothes to wear, what to eat, which tasks to begin with, which requests to hear first, how to respond to each person, when to take breaks, what to drink, where to sit, how long to think about each matter, when to end his day. He realized with growing shock that he had made hundreds of decisions before the sun had even reached its peak. "I see you begin to understand," said Lao Feng. "You are like a man trying to catch fish with his bare hands in a rushing river. The more you grasp, the more they slip away. You have forgotten the ancient principle of Jian." "Simplicity," Wei said. He knew the word, but had never truly understood it. "Not just simplicity," Lao Feng corrected. "Jian is the art of removing what clutters wisdom. Listen carefully. Your mind is not broken. It is tired. And it is tired because you have been asking it to do something it was never designed to do. The mind works like water. When water is still, it reflects the moon perfectly. When you throw stones into water constantly, you see nothing but chaos. Each decision you make is a stone. You have been throwing thousands of stones every day for years." Then Lao Feng shared something that sounded almost like a riddle. The sages taught Wu Nian, This phrase means no thought, but it does not mean having no thoughts. It means arriving at the place before thought divides into endless options. It means returning to clarity before the mind starts choosing. Wei did not understand. How can I make decisions without thinking? That is exactly the wrong question, said Lao Feng. You are asking how to do more. I am teaching you how to do less. The best decisions do not come from weighing every option carefully. They come from removing the need to choose at all. Over the next 3 months, Lao Feng taught Wei 3 practices that the ancients had developed to protect the mind from the exhaustion of constant deciding. These were not mystical techniques. They were practical methods based on how the human mind actually functions. The first practice was called clearing before choosing. Before Wei needed to make any significant decision, Lao Feng taught him to sit in complete stillness for exactly 5 minutes. Not to think about the decision, not to plan or analyze, just to sit and let his mind become like still water. At first, Wei found this impossible. His mind raced with worries, memories, arguments, plans. But Lao Feng told him something crucial. Do not fight the thoughts. Just notice them without following them. A thought will rise like a bubble in water. Let it rise and let it pass. After several weeks, Wei began to notice something remarkable. When he sat in stillness before deciding, many decisions simply became obvious, not because he had reasoned them out, but because the noise cleared and what needed to be done became visible. He had been trying to see the path while standing in a dust storm. Stillness let the dust settle so he could see clearly. The second practice was even more surprising. Decide once and follow without thinking. Wei had been making the same trivial decisions over and over every single day. When to wake, what to wear, what to eat, when to begin work, when to rest, when to eat again, when to sleep. These small decisions seemed harmless, but they drained enormous mental energy. Lao Feng taught him to remove them entirely. Make each decision one time, he said. Then follow it for an entire season without reconsidering. When spring comes, decide when you will wake each morning. Then, wake at that time every day of spring without choosing again. Decide what you will eat for breakfast. Then, eat that same meal every morning until summer arrives. This is not rigidity. This is freedom. The energy you waste on meaningless choices becomes available for what truly matters. Wei resisted at first. Would this not make life boring? But when he tried it, he discovered the opposite. By removing hundreds of tiny decisions, he felt more alive. His mind became sharper. The decisions that actually mattered received his full attention because he was no longer exhausted from deciding what to have for lunch. The third practice was the hardest to accept: the art of non-decision. Sometimes the wisest choice is to not choose at all. Not every problem requires a solution. Not every question demands an immediate answer. Many situations resolve themselves naturally if you simply give them time and space. Lao Feng called this trusting the Tao to unfold. When a problem arrives, he told Wei, your first impulse is to fix it immediately. But consider the tree. When wind comes, the tree does not decide which way to bend. It simply yields and returns to center. Many conflicts are like wind. If you try to fight them or control them, they only grow stronger. If you wait and observe, they often pass on their own. This practice went against everything Wei had been trained to do as a magistrate. He had believed that leadership meant having an answer for everything. But Lao Feng showed him that sometimes the strongest response is patience. Not all disputes need judgment. Not all requests need approval. Some things need time to reveal their true nature. After 3 months in the mountains, Wei returned to his district. People expected him to resume his position as magistrate. But Wei surprised them again. He accepted a simpler role, hearing cases only 3 days each week instead of every day. He established strict routines that required no daily decisions. He wore the same style of simple robes each day. He ate the same meal each morning. He set clear hours when he would work and when he would rest. Most remarkably, he established a new rule. Any decision that was not urgent would wait 3 days before he would consider it. This single rule changed everything. He discovered that more than half of all requests resolved themselves without his involvement. The people found solutions on their own. The problems that seemed urgent on the first day often disappeared by the third. Within a year, something unexpected happened. Wei's district became known throughout the province, not because its magistrate worked harder than anyone else, but because its magistrate worked with exceptional clarity. His judgments were sharper, his decisions were wiser, and he made them with a calm certainty that inspired confidence in everyone around him. Here is what modern science has confirmed about what happened to Wei. Researchers studying decision fatigue have discovered that the human brain can only make a limited number of good decisions each day. Studies of judges show that they are far more likely to grant favorable rulings early in the morning than late in the day. The same judge, looking at identical cases, will make completely different decisions based solely on how mentally tired they are. One study found that judges granted parole to about 65% of cases at the start of their session, but this dropped to nearly zero by the end, regardless of the merit of the cases. This is not because judges are incompetent. It is because decision-making depletes a specific type of mental energy. Every choice you make uses up a little more of this energy. By the end of the day, your capacity for good judgment is exhausted. You become impulsive, choosing the easiest option instead of the best one. Or you freeze completely, unable to choose anything at all. The Chinese principle of Jian addresses this by eliminating unnecessary decisions entirely. While the Western world tries to optimize decision-making with productivity systems and decision frameworks, the Chinese approach asks a different question. What if most decisions do not need to be made at all? Consider this. You can choose from over 300 types of toothpaste at a typical pharmacy. Does having 300 options make your teeth cleaner? No. It makes buying toothpaste exhausting. You can scroll through thousands of movies on streaming services. Does having thousands of options make your evening more enjoyable? No. It makes you waste 30 minutes choosing and then feeling unsure if you picked the right thing. The solution is not to choose better among these options. The solution is to stop having these options in the first place. This is Jian in practice. Here is how you apply this to your life immediately. 1. Identify the 3 daily decisions that drain you most. For most people, these are what to wear, what to eat, and when to do specific tasks. Create a default choice for each one. Wear the same outfit every day for the next month. Same breakfast every morning. Same time for exercise or work. Remove the need to choose by choosing once and following it. 2. Before any important decision, practice 5 minutes of complete mental stillness. Set a timer. Sit quietly. Do not think about the decision. Just let your mind settle, like disturbed water returning, to calm. When the timer ends, you will often find the right choice has become clear without effort. 3. Apply the 3-day rule to non-urgent decisions. If someone asks you for a response and the request is not urgent, wait 3 full days before you decide. Write down the request and forget about it. After 3 days, revisit it. You will discover that many requests no longer need your attention. The problem resolved itself, or the person found another solution. 4. Remove one source of excessive options from your life. Reduce your wardrobe to items you actually wear. Unsubscribe from the streaming service you barely use. Delete the app that offers you endless scroll. Simplify your grocery list to staples you regularly need. Each source of options you remove is mental energy you reclaim. 5. Establish one unbreakable routine. Morning or evening, Create a sequence of actions you perform the same way every single time without variation. This routine becomes an anchor, a part of your day that requires zero mental energy and leaves you with more clarity for what truly matters. The ancient Taoist masters understood something that modern neuroscience is only beginning to confirm. The mind is not designed for endless choosing. Clarity comes not from weighing more options, but from removing the need to weigh options at all. Wu Nian, the state of no thought, is not about stopping your mind from working. It is about stopping your mind from exhausting itself through constant decision-making. You cannot optimize your way out of decision fatigue. You can only simplify your way out. Every decision you remove from your day is energy you save for decisions that genuinely matter. This is how you move from mental fog to crystal clarity. This is how you protect your judgment from the exhaustion that makes you snap at loved ones, buy things you regret, and agree to things you do not want to do. The power is not in choosing better. The power is in creating a life that requires far less choosing. Write in the comments, I choose simplicity over endless options. Thank you for watching.